Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well, and today I've got episode 14 of my Make Your Own Card Game Showcase. This is going to be the last episode in the series, at least until I make more cards, and this is going to cover basically what I'm calling the best of the rest. This is basically all the characters that don't really fit into any one category. And starting off with Lucky Lady Lucy, a 3-cost, 1 attack, 1 defense character with 2 abilities. First is I'm Feeling Lucky, which states that whenever a die is rolled or a coin is flipped, this character gets a +1/+1 counter. And then you have a second ability that goes along with it. It's Roll the Dice. For 5 power, you get to once per turn roll a 6-sided die. And if you roll a 6, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on this character. But since you are rolling a die, you get a +1/+1 counter anyway, so you have a chance of getting 2 counters with that ability. And this combos pretty well with all the other cards in the game that allow you to roll dice or flip coins, which is pretty nice. Up next is a character who's a little bit more simple. It's Sam. He's a 3-cost, 4 attack, 2 defense human. Not really much to say, but it's still a nice character nonetheless. Next is Riot Guard, a soldier, 1 cost, 1 attack, 2 defense. Another pretty simple character. Up next is Sniper Man, a 2-cost, 2 attack, 2 defense soldier with the long shot ability, which states that for 2 power, once per turn, you get to discard the top card of your opponent's deck. So if your aim is to run your opponent out of cards, this is a nice card to have early on, just like with Energy Might in the previous video. Up next is Paladin, a 3-cost, 2 attack, 5 defense soldier with the Taunt ability, meaning opposing characters may only attack this character. It's a nice little defender to have early on. And then there's Super Soldier, a 7-cost, 10 attack, 2 defense soldier with 2 abilities. First is Ward, meaning he cannot be chosen by your opponent except to attack. And Evasive, which means he can only be attacked by other characters with Evasive. Kind of an annoying character to get rid of, if I do say so myself. Next is Fluff Token, the only character in the game with a 0 cost. 0 attack and 0 defense, but his solid frame ability states that if he's ever knocked out by battle, you do not lose life points. So it's a nice character to have early on in the game when you need some protection from that early aggression. Then we've got Hungry Piranha, a fish with 1 cost, 2 attack, and 1 defense. Another pretty simple card. Up next is the Sentient Training Dummy, a material character with 2 cost, 2 attack, 3 defense. He also has the solid frame ability just like Fluff Token does, so if he's knocked out by battle, you do not lose life points. But he has a bit more stats than the Fluff Token. Next we have another pretty simple character in the Punching Bag. It's a brawler character, 2 cost, 3 attack, 2 defense. Pretty simple. And then we have a character with a pretty funny name. It's Cadavius Butt Smasher, a 7-cost, 10 attack, 4 defense brawler with the ability Diving Strike. For 5 power, you get to use this ability when this character attacks, and this character is allowed to perform 2 attacks this turn, so he can really apply some pressure later in the game when you play him. Then you have Cocoon, a pretty powerful insect character. Although he doesn't look like much with his 0 attack and 4 defense, his cast-off shell ability is pretty nice. If this character is knocked out by battle, you get to put into play a character from your hand. So if you have a card that, and this is any character regardless of its cost, so you could put in a 10-cost character with this ability, and it's pretty useful. Next we have a box. A 5-cost, 0 attack, 12 defense character with the ability Contents. It states that this character gets +1 attack and -1 defense for each card in your hand. And this goes up to +12, -12. So if you have a lot of cards in your hand, he can become a pretty powerful attacker. Otherwise, he's just good to have for his defense. Next, we got Luck Room, a 5-cost with unknown attack and defense. His balance rune ability states that on play, this character gets +2 attack and +2 defense for each character your opponent controls. So, if your opponent happens to be controlling a lot of characters, this could be as high as a +10/+10. So, definitely something you'll want to look out for when you play it. Up next, we have a couple of characters who are basically identical except for their artwork. It's Lonely Wall and Stone Guardian. They both cost 6. They're both rock-type characters. They're both 3 attack, 9 defense, and they both have taunt. Opposing characters may only attack this character, so they're very good defenders to have in the later game. I think if I had to choose between the two, I like Lonely Wall a little better. It's only because its flavor text is a bit more interesting. It states that regardless of the time of day, this wall casts a shadow that conceals what is hidden behind it. And what's hidden behind it? Well, not really sure we'll ever find out. And next we have Stone Watcher. Pretty interesting card. 6 cost, 9 attack, 2 defense. His pacifist shield ability states that if your turn ends and this character has not attacked, its base defense becomes 10 until the end of your opponent's next turn. So, can be a pretty good defender in certain situations. Next is the Shield-Toting Blob, an 8 cost, 6 attack, 11 defense slime with taunt. So this is one of the more expensive taunters, but as you might expect with higher cost cards, it has better stats, making it better for absorbing attacks. And we're going to end this little showcase on a pretty interesting card with Return of the Ooze. There's been variants of this card in pretty much every version of the Make Your Own card game that my brother liked to use against me, and this is one of those. And Return of the Ooze is a 6 cost, 0 attack, 7 defense slime character with 2 abilities. First is the Blight. At the end of each of your opponent's turns, they lose 2 life. So just having this on the field, if your opponent doesn't deal with this, they're going to lose a bunch of life over time. And then there's Singe. When this character is knocked out by battle, your opponent loses 5 life points. So they're going to have to find some other way to deal with this if they don't want to lose too much life. And that about does it. And with that, I've just about shown off every card I've made so far on video at least once. Thank you very much for watching. I know I said this was the last video, but if once I ever get to a point where I make more cards for this game, I'll definitely show them off in future videos. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed and comment below which of these was your favorite. I'll see you all in whatever video I upload next, and take care.